everybody. I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vinny Savatello.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, the largest statewide business association in the United States of America. We have a little photo
special
bombing
guest. Is it
happening
Monster
right
or
now.
Razor?
This is Razor. You can tell by the
Okay.
skinny tail.
A skinny tail. What does a fat tail look like? Like how
Like,
much bigger is a fat tail?
It looks like a dog's tail. It looks like a dog is sitting up here and wagging his tail at me. It's gigantic.
Okay. All right.
That's why his name is Monster. He's
Sure.
giant.
Yeah.
We release a new episode every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out if you'd like some updated coverage, because they are the official sponsor of the show.
Awesome. Housekeeping matter or two before we get this train rolling. This podcast is available just about anywhere you can get a podcast. That's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, TuneIn, etc. We throw these things up on YouTube if you'd rather watch than listen. But no matter how you check the show out, give it some love. Give it that like. Give it that comment. Give it that 5-star review on iTunes. Paint the logo of the show on the side of your house. And every time somebody drives by, stops at your door and asks, what's that? Hand them the subscription link on a piece of paper that you previously print out. It's not as much work as I'm making it sound. But with all that out of the way, our awesome guest today from ALEXENA Consulting, a returning guest on this show, is Lue Raia. Jackie, say hi. Let the non-visual audience hear your voice.
Hello, everyone. What a pleasure to be back with you both today. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
It is absolutely our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
It's been so long. I think the last time we had you, we were in the office doing this, which means pre-pandemic. So
we were
as a
in the
matter of
studio
fact, and we'll get into this a little later, it's been so long that you're now representing a new company. So I want to hear all about it. But Kate's got an icebreaker first.
Yes, the icebreaker is, as always, what are you currently binging? And I'm going to go first because you need to hold on to your hat, America. I have never, ever, ever identified as a Trekkie. In fact, I would have identified as a person who curled my lip at a Trekkie.
Let me see what that looks like. I want to know what like curling your lip means. Okay. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So now you have to watch this on YouTube, America, because you just want to get that full visual.
You don't want to miss it, yeah.
Somebody recommended Strange New Worlds, and I didn't know that was a Star Trek show until she said, no.
Even though it's called Star Trek Strange New Worlds, like you didn't notice that when the show started?
She didn't tell me that it was called Star Trek Strange New Worlds. She just told me that I should check Strange New Worlds. So then I was like, okay. So I fire up my little TV and I open up my little Amazon Fire Stick and I say Strange New Worlds. And the only thing that pops up is this Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And I texted her and I was like, you can't mean this, can you? And she goes, yeah. It's really good. You should check it out. And I was like, pshaw, good sir. You cannot.
Jackie, Strange New Worlds or not, have you watched any Star Trek?
I am not a Trekkie. I am not any of those sci-fi outer space things.
Sci-fi outer space thing.
Yeah. Not my jam, I'm afraid.
No,
and that case got me thinking because I'm a lip curler too with Trekkies, so I might have to open my mind a little bit and increase my diversity.
Yeah. I never watched a single Star Trek thing until college. I mean, the thing is, like, there's so much of it. Like, there's like 12 series, and I don't even know. I do know exactly how many movies there are, but like, I think it's 15. And so that sounds really intimidating. But in college, somebody sat me down and they were like, look, there's a lot of it out there. You really just have to watch these 3 movies and you're good. So if you watch Star Trek 2, 3, and 4, that's really all the Star Trek you ever need in your life, unless Kate tells you Strange New Worlds is definitely worth it. But go ahead.
So it's funny because as we're talking about this, I have never identified as a sci-fi person either. But Battlestar Galactica is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Sure.
Now I'm like, maybe I am a sci-fi person. And I was thinking today about the difference. Like, Battlestar Galactica is all about them like running for their lives. Villains are always on their tail. Versus Strange New Worlds, which, you know, there is no imminent war. They're just traveling through space, meeting interesting people, and learning lessons and good storytelling, I guess. I'm
gonna give you the little like life hack secret here. Genre is just genre. good storytelling is good storytelling no matter what genre it's in.
Yes.
So if you have great characters and good storytelling, then like space is just the background music to whatever they're doing.
Exactly. That's what I'm learning.
I don't discriminate against good story.
I guess I don't either now. And I feel silly for having discriminated for so long up until now. I don't even know what to say about that, but
Kate, Jackie, I'm going to tell you both, go out and rent Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. See what you think, because it's you got to skip 1 because 1 is just absolutely terrible. And they just decided to kind of start all over. 2, 3, and 4. If you watch if you watch 2 and you like it, go on to 3 and 4. Otherwise, you can stop there. But like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan is probably like the greatest sci-fi movie ever made. So, yeah.
Wait, that's a bold statement. The greatest sci-fi movie ever made is what you.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me something else. I don't know.
I mean, I don't watch sci-fi, but like the lip curling is instinctive, and it wants to. I
mean, Star Wars is adventure. I wouldn't actually call Star Wars science fiction, but there's really nothing else that comes to mind. Like Terminator is more horror.
You wouldn't consider Star Wars to be sci-fi?
No, because there's no real science in it. It's just space. You know, like you need like the science in the science fiction. Jackie, back me. No, you don't watch sci-fi either.
Vinny, listen, I can't back you up only because you tell me to skip 1. And in the Chinese tradition,
you can watch it if you want. The first time I watched Star Trek 1, I fell asleep 5 times. Like I fell asleep 5 legit times in the course of watching that movie. And the person watching it with me had to wake me up like every time and be like, no, keep watching. It's not necessary. They just assume that everybody hated Star Trek 1. Star Trek 2 is kind of like, let's just kind of start this over.
Reboot?
And, yeah, and not a reboot. Like it's not like 1 doesn't count. But you don't need to see 1 to understand anything going on in the other ones. So, yeah. They've recut the movie like 3 times, and it never really helps. I don't know.
I'm just going to say I'm holding my lip. Yeah, curl your lip. Because William Shatner is maybe a deal breaker for me.
He's fine in the movie. I mean, yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
I get it. Like, he's deliberately over the top. There's something on the wing. Thing, but like it's sort of part of the charm. I don't know.
Yeah, but do you watch Ancient Aliens? That's the show he's on, right?
No, I don't.
Aliens. He's the narrator of that, and that's true stuff. So I'd be more inclined to watch that than Star Wars 1 through 15.
Wait! You haven't watched Star Wars either?
We're talking about Star Trek, not Star Wars.
I know, but
Star Trek. Sorry. You see,
that show is exactly
not in any of those. Am I truthful?
I love it.
All right.
I love it.
I'm telling you both, feel free to go out and rent Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. But Jackie, definitely check out the first Star Wars movie too.
It's a hard movie.
That's just one of those movies that like everybody should watch, regardless of what walk of life you're in. Anyway, Jackie, what have you been?
I can't even accept the assignment properly. I'm sorry.
I know. You get homework on this show, but it's fun homework.
All right.
No, so Jackie, what have you been binging lately? Sorry.
So interestingly enough, and I too am trying to be open, but more so I'm trying to engage with my husband and my son. So all the guys in the house, with Lioness.
I've never heard of that one. What is it?
I heard great things. It's about an Amazon Prime show, right?
I think so. I think I'm not positive. There's too many special ops. And I'm usually not into that, a lot of violent stuff, but it is so very interesting. So I've been watching that, but of course, my always is Yellowstone.
I'm ready to start it too, right? Yeah.
I actually have
Yellowstone.
I haven't watched Yellowstone yet. I want to wait until it's over, and I can start from the beginning and not wait.
Is it close to being over? Do you think? Like, is this the last year or something? It's gonna wind up going on for like 10 more years. You're just gonna be waiting. Maybe.
You
shouldn't hold out, Kate. You're missing a great experience.
Yeah, don't rob yourself of it, Kate.
Take it as it comes.
Here's my question for you. Is there anybody who is rootable? Like I need somebody to root for. I need to feel something for somebody, but they all seem terrible.
Okay, so you can absolutely root for Rip. Rip is rootable, but I also admire, incredibly so, Beth Dutton.
Everybody says that. Everybody talks about Beth and how she's this amazing character.
She is an amazing character. And, it's not even just the characters, it's the scenery.
Oh, okay.
If you're a fan of horses and country and mountains and cowboys, and it's just a phenomenally great series.
All right.
Try it.
Well,
but yeah, Rip. I vote for Rip.
All right. I can't wait to check it out.
All right.
Thanks. Ben, what are you binging?
I started up Harley Quinn, so they're on the 4th season.
It's back?
Yeah, I want to say they're wrapping up. Like the season's got to be almost over at this point. There's like 6 of them out. I think they usually do about 10 to 12. So maybe about halfway, we'll see. Yeah. It's weird because last season Harley was really codependent on Poison Ivy, almost annoyingly so. And so this season they've really done everything they can to keep them apart. But I think that's not a great decision because so much of the show is their chemistry. So we'll see how that goes.
Didn't they like break up at the end of last season? Like they were together.
No, they're definitely together, but Harley is now a superhero and Poison Ivy is a supervillain. So
that's right. Harley.
Yeah, they're trying to maintain their romantic relationship while still being on opposite sides of that fence,
Is this a cartoon or an
It is, but
show?
it's a very adult cartoon. Yeah, it's a hard adult cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the rating is, but it's definitely not for kids.
If it's not an R, they're making a mistake.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. What is the name of it?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Remember Joker's girlfriend, Harley Quinn, in one of those movies? It's an animated version of her life.
I gotta give Jackie like a list of movies to watch. I don't know, like it's gonna be like 5 miles long.
Grease, Steel Magnolias.
These are your favorite?
Yeah, let's go. Those are my go-tos.
Grease. That's an interesting. So musicals then. I've never seen Steel Magnolias, so I don't know what that one's about. But
Steel Magnolias is not a musical, but you should definitely see it because there is some powerhouse acting in that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Okay.
Really? Like Sally Field, Julia Roberts, Olympia Dukakis, Shirley MacLaine, like these amazing performances by amazing women. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to keep talking about it, but I'm going to cry. No, I can't do that.
All right, then instead, I think we switch gears and we talk about ALEXENA Consulting. So tell us all about that and what you do.
So my goodness, ALEXENA Consulting came upon me. My husband made up the name, by the way. It's Alex is my dad. Ina is my mom. So ALEXENA Consulting. So I thank him every single day for allowing me to pay homage to my parents. I'm just so thrilled. So initially the firm started out as a workforce development, employee engagement, broad stroke. And as of the last going on 4 years now, my concentration specifically has been in the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging space, where I go into companies and just create safe space for everyone from the CEO down to entry level and all the way out and to their customers, their community.
Well, how does one create a safe space?
Well, first you have to get the buy-in of leadership to say, you're going to allow this safe space. That means no recordings, no, oh, did you hear what Jackie said? And, just an agreement. Nobody signs anything, but people know if you're going to talk about what happens in the sessions, it's just not going to work in a gossipy kind of way. And it's just an agreement to say, all right, we're just bringing our truest, most authentic, most uncomfortable selves around this table. And we're going to have probably a conversation that you've never had, especially in your place of work before.
Well, okay. So I know you're trying to create a safe space, but what is the goal of the session?
Is to be able to let everyone feel like they are bringing their truest self to their work table.
Okay.
Or even a volunteer table, because I do it for community, to the table, whoever that group is that we've convened. And just basically to allow them to not be afraid to talk about and admit what true feelings are, what real experiences are that they have lived through or I witnessed or anything like that, just to bring another, people say peeling the onion and getting down to some true root causes, maybe of some behaviors, some biases, some beliefs. And that it's really uncomfortable. But you create this space and people are like, okay, well, if they can say that and be that raw, then so can I. And it really works where you kind of follow suit, but you set the stage. So I generally ask the highest ranking person in the room to start off, and I ask them the toughest questions. And so they set the stage for the rest of the session.
Can you give me an example of a really tough question?
Yeah.
So, Vinny, the question I would ask for you is, how does your view on LGBTQ plus differ from your parents?
I'm from a very
some people do. Yeah, they laugh.
I'm from a very different generation than my parents. I wholeheartely support the LGBTQ community. I'm not saying that they don't, but I grew up in an era where it was more of a priority to support. So that's a tough one. I could see that.
Yeah. And it's okay to admit that it's a generational thing for sure. So those are the kinds of questions, and that was just one of many, many, many.
Sure. Put me in the mindset of like a business owner. What would I hope to get from having these kinds of sessions and talks in the workplace?
So, with the resignations and the layoffs and people jumping from job to job, retention has been probably the most problematic for employers now, because now it's okay to get a new job every year. Whereas when I was growing up, that was no. You gotta hang tough. You gotta stick it out. So retention. So creating a space where your employees don't want to leave, that they value their job, and they actually will tell their friends and their peers who don't work for your organization, come work for NJBIA because they're the best of the best. And
I think
what?
No, sorry? Go ahead. No,
I didn't hear it either, actually.
Go ahead.
It just is. It's not what you know basically anymore. It's who you know, and to be able to share and brag about the company that you work with and spend most of your day with has become more important to some than even salary.
It reminds me of that Jack Welch quote, train your employees so well they could go anywhere. Treat them so well they don't want to go.
Exactly.
Exactly. One thing that I kept thinking of, because what you do, because it started as not necessarily DE&I, what you do can be translated to anything, not necessarily DE&I. But I saw a quote recently that essentially said, culture is the worst behavior leadership is willing to tolerate. When you have a couple of people in an organization who are allowed to not put in the kind of effort that everybody else does, it creates a culture. And having an uncomfortable conversation led by someone like you probably would help. But I suspect most organizations have trouble admitting that they have an issue.
And they do. And a lot of companies right now are doing it just to say that I'm doing it. We're doing 100%. It. See, everybody sat through the 15-minute webinar. And so we're all trained in DEI. And those are the ones who are checking the box. And are they still out there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say that there is more positive growth in the people who realize that unless they properly address culture, it's going to bite them. and there's going to be an absolutely negative impact. Yeah.
I also wonder how many companies don't realize they have a problem in this space. Like, beyond the hiring aspect of it, like the demographics, how many don't know that they have, let's say, certain biases amongst their employees or in their culture, and maybe because it goes underreported. I don't know.
Yeah, or fear, underreported because people fear, like employees fear that, oh, if I say this, I'm going to lose my job or I'm going to be reprimanded. But that is the culture shift, is that I believe that the employees are now saying, no, I need to blend, especially working from home. It has taught us a lesson that it's no longer, oh, how do you balance work and work-life balance? No, we are so integrated right now where if I don't make my job fit my personal life, I'm going to be in trouble. And I need to do this in some cases, save my own mental health. But I need this to survive in this job. And people are getting much more open. But what's interesting is those that don't want to admit that there is an issue within their organizations are the ones who, in turn, I believe are going to lose, because you look at nonprofit now, grantors are looking at nonprofits and they're opening their websites and going to their board of directors and seeing, all right, what does this board of directors look like? People graduating from college are looking at going into finance. They're opening their board of directors and their web pages to say, all right, who are the people that work here? Is it somewhere that I want to be? We're getting much more astute in choosing the better matches for us. And what does that mean? It could mean anything. Maybe someone does want to go to a board, a company whose board is all female. Or maybe someone wants to go to an all male. I doubt that, though. This importance of diversity, and unfortunately, pictures don't tell the whole picture, the whole story, and that's why these conversations are so important. It's really getting down to the nitty gritty. Is like, what makes you diverse? And sometimes that's this question that stumps people the most. What makes your world diverse? And they're like, I don't know.
So what made you want to do, I mean, I know you said that the company didn't start as DE&I, you were in the economic growth field. What made you decide to switch gears?
So I have been doing diversity work for the better part of 25 years. So when I was running the Partnership for Community Health back in the day, I started the Cultural Competency Task Force. I've been a member of the New Jersey Statewide Network for Cultural Competency for years and years and years. Well before. And in doing the work that I did last time I was on the show, when I was the director of corporate outreach and training, my job was to go out to corporations and say, what do you need? What do you need for your people to develop them and to keep them and to make them better at their jobs and more in tune with your company? And lo and behold, they were all getting on the diversity bandwagon before it became so en vogue. All right. So that happened when not a good portion.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how are we doing? Like, how is the growth in this, like, is it an easier sell than when you first started? Like, would you say that people are more open to it, or is it not? I mean, I don't want to make assumptions,
Yeah, it depends on who you're talking to. And it depends even within the same company. Some departments realize that it's an issue. Some are like, no, it's not an issue here. And that's what's the great thing about my practice, is that I'll go into an institution and take the faculty and take the administration and take the public safety and take the librarians, all in separate things, because we are all faced with different issues in the course of our employment, right? And so the beauty of my practice is that I customize all of my sessions. So, Vinny, if I were to create a session for you, it might be a little bit different than the session I might create for Kate, only because what you do for BIA is slightly different, and I want to be relevant. So every session is different. Every session is as relevant as I want it to be. So buy-in, for those who don't think that there's an issue, it still is difficult, but there are more people saying, no, we have to address culture than I think ever before. Yeah.
And culture is such a big word. I go back to the worst behavior tolerated by leadership, but also right now with the job market so tight, like it is incredible how there is still this interesting push-pull between some leadership that want their people back in the office, and they're using culture to justify that. And employees are, there's not everybody is the same, but by and large, a lot of employees are saying, actually, I want to work from home. I don't want that commute anymore. I want to be able to like throw in a little laundry when I'm, on my lunch break. There are so many convenient factors. I'm just struggling. I'm watching the world and I'm thinking to myself, leadership in some cases is paying lip service to culture, but they don't actually understand it or think about it in the right way. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I understand what you're saying, but here's the other piece of that. Is that people are still suffering greatly from loneliness and isolation. So they miss their teams. They want to be with people who they can talk about business with. I mean, yeah, it's great to be able to cook dinner and simultaneously take a Zoom and kill two birds with one stone. However, when is the last time, in some cases, have you ever even met your supervisor or the CEO of your company? And some people have not, and it's just remarkable to me. So it's, you talk about push pull, Kate. It's like, I need to be with colleagues that can talk the same language as me professionally, and I can throw ideas off. If we could share challenges and triumphs in these, because I can't really do it with my husband or my wife. They don't really get it. Or my partner, they don't really get it. Or my children, they don't get it. Peers and colleagues get it. And so, this whole thing of going back to work, I think the hybrid thing is a great idea, where people are going back just X amount, not full time. They get it. But on the same hand, they have to appreciate that pre-COVID, you were in your office every single day. Yeah. There was no working from home and doing laundry simultaneously. Yeah. But, we've learned so many things.
Actually, I found like a button on the machine where you can put the laundry in and you can tell it when you want it to be done. So I used to do that. I know this is not the point, but I just want to get this out there. Like, I used to like put it in the morning and tell it, I want this to be done at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever. And then you throw it into the dryer right after you get home. I know that's not the point at all, but
no, but the point is you can go to work and do laundry still simultaneously. So I think that's great.
I mean, we had work-life balance before remote work. Maybe we had more work than life, and now maybe we're finding a way to kind of balance it more in the middle. But it's not like we weren't talking about work-life balance before COVID. So
right. And the other thing is now that people are working when they would not have been working, for fear that, oh my gosh, if my supervisor sends me that email at 10 p.m., I think I better answer it because they're working. So I should be working. And that's not the expectation, but that is the unknown, that people don't want to be caught with their people thinking that they're not working.
I do it a little bit, but not for that. Like for me, it is more about the balance. Like there are times in the day where I'll take off and I'll take my daughter to work, or I'll throw the laundry in the machine. And yes, I'm swinging the needle a little bit towards more life at that point. But then I try to give it back. Like after my daughter goes to bed, I'll, sometimes it's like 10:30, 11, maybe even midnight, because I'm a night person and I can work all the way until 2 in the morning if I really wanted to. But I'll jump on and just get a couple things done, just so I can say, yes, like I'm taking a little bit here, but I'm giving a little bit there,
Yeah. So the question is the work getting done? Is it getting done?
Right.
But are you also fulfilling the needs of your employees, which is to be together and to work as a team, not on a computer screen? So there is that balance. I do believe it. And now that I know that there's a machine that I can program my start of the laundry and have it end by X time. So thank you.
End delay. That's the name of the button. End delay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to jump a little bit back to something Vinny said before. He asked a question, and I'm not sure that I heard the answer. Do you find that it's easier now than it was pre-COVID 5 years, 10 years ago to get companies to truly buy into this as a need, the DE&I training and conversations and hard conversations, I guess. Is it, do you find that it's easier or harder now that we're post-COVID?
I'm going to say it's about the same, but it is getting a little harder now because it seems that every industry, the staffing is running lean and mean.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, all reasons that we know, supply chain, whatever, revenue is running lean and so mean. So now it's not only that, I mean, everybody knows that to have these courageous conversations, whatever you want to call them, open, awkward conversations is important. They know as human beings, can they feasibly do it? That's getting more difficult as time goes on because they just don't have the manpower to say, all right, even an hour out of the workday, yeah, I'm going to let my employees sit in this session for an hour. Nah, can't do it. Or now I don't have the budget for it. So everybody appreciates it. Whether they have the means to deliver it is something very, very much case by case. But I'm finding that the people who have been on board, this is what the easier part is. They're realizing that the sustainability of having these kinds of conversations is important. It doesn't have to be, a 3-hour training, but to have these touch points in increments so that the employees don't think, all right, so check the box. They check the box. So now we're not going to be able to get together and have these conversations anymore. So that has become easier. I want to say, like, this continuum has become much more appreciated, which is good.
That's awesome.
You mentioned the 3-hour training. How long would you say one of your typical sessions goes?
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah. So I go anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to full day. And 3 hours, if they really want to do a true training, 3 hours is the minimum. Maintenance is an hour. So when I say maintenance, it's these ongoing conversations. But, for my military clients, we're at full day national. So it's really a lot of fun. And again, very, very specific to their challenges and their interests and their relevancy. So the time goes by pretty quickly, and it's a lot of fun creating the curriculum with the clients because then this is really at the heart of what they need to talk about and the messaging they want to convey. So it's been really fun and awkward, and that's what I think makes it fun.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I hate awkward and hard conversations. I think most people do, but if I had to have one, I would rather it be with you than anybody else, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes, everybody's just calm and, sharing.
Yeah.
Safe.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I said that kind of jokingly, but it does take a certain energy to go into a room and initiate these difficult conversations. And you've always got this very serene presence about you. Your way is just so nice and calm and easy. And I have to believe that has contributed to your success in a big way.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, I do. I've heard that, and I thank you for the compliment. And I'm going to just say thank you, and I accept it. And how lucky I am that I could use that gift because I do believe it's a gift. Because you can imagine, so listening is the most key thing in these sessions and being able to react to what people are saying. So when you're talking about hot topics like we're talking about in these sessions, sometimes it gets very challenging. But to create that where maybe Vinny, you want to speak to something that Kate just said and Kate then wants to bounce it off you. That's really the beauty of having these group conversations, to be able to say at the end of the session, oh my gosh, Vinny would say to you, Kate, I've known you for how many years? And I've never known that about you. And it's a beautiful thing.
That's impressive.
Or I didn't know. And now I will be mindful of what I say in front of you.
Right.
Because now I know it can be hurtful, or I know that it can help you celebrate something that is important in your life. It's just the uncovering of just some very, very key experiences that people have, and that's the reward. Really, it's just been an amazing journey the last few years. And by the way,
for example,
has been right there.
No, I was going to say, like, for example, what I've uncovered today is that Jackie Lue Raia has not seen like 99% of movies that she ought to have. We're just going to put that out there. And now,
but I got the 1% in, then
right back to movies. I love it. All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to play a game. All right, welcome back. I am now going to launch into the lightning round game, which today is brought to us by RWJ Barnabas. Jackie, are you ready?
I think so.
Just be prepared.
Ready as she'll ever be.
Be prepared, because we are going to judge your answers, just so you know.
Oh, no. Judgy. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's not too bad, though, I promise. Favorite
less
movie?
Of a space. Go ahead.
Yeah. Favorite movie?
Oh, Steel Magnolias.
Nice. That's a good answer. I love that movie. Okay. Vinny, that means you definitely need to watch it.
I do. And I will. I always love taking recommendations from people. I'm going to watch Steel Magnolias while the two of you are watching Wrath of Khan. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Jackie, favorite pizza topping?
Mushrooms.
Ooh.
And
anchovies? You know what I don't like? Okay, so I don't...
Anchovies.
Are you being serious? No. You're not kidding?
So serious.
All right, tell me what it is about the anchovy, because they're really salty, right? I've never actually tasted anchovy. I know it's like biting into like one big chunk of salt. That's what I've heard.
It is. But spread amongst the pizza dough with the tomato sauce, extra mozzarella, mushrooms, and you spread out the anchovies a little bit. So it's like not one bite, you get all the anchovy. It's just delicious.
Okay.
You have to try it.
I'll give it a shot.
You have to try it. All right. While you're watching Steel Magnolias.
While I'm watching Steel Magnolias.
I'm not trying it. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, look, I'm a lover of all pizza. I will try anything once, and that's anything beyond pizza too. But I mean, I've never actually heard anyone say that they actually eat anchovies. So that's I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Caesar salad? You don't have anchovies on Caesar salad?
No, really. That's never even been presented to me as an option on a Caesar salad, let's be honest.
I mean, I know that they are included in the ingredients of the dressing. Caesar dressing does include anchovies.
Is that true? I didn't know that. Oh.
It is true. And they blend it.
You've had anchovy. You don't even. And then the what do they call it? It's the anchovies and the black olives and the capers and the red sauce. I forget what the name of the sauce is, but it's delicious.
Is that like horseradish or something?
I think, is that puttanesca?
No, it's Italian.
Is that pasta
puttanesca? Exactly. Delicious. I cook that for my Italian family. It's delicious.
Do you know where I got that name? This isn't appropriate, but do you know how I got that name? The Italian word for a lady of the night is puttane. And so the dish got its name because it was thought that you could put it together in less time than it would take a lady of the night to have an interaction with a friend.
Where did you hear that?
I totally disagree with that.
Yeah, right? Wait, Jackie's like, it takes me like 3 hours to make this stuff.
Seriously. First, you got to find the anchovies because you haters hide them in the store.
No, I was going to say, I think it's assumed that you know where all the ingredients are when you start.
That is very interesting. I'm going to just like purge that from my memory now, Kate. I'll never look at puttanesca again the same way.
Somebody told me that like 20 years ago, and I've never been able to forget it. But I've also never Googled it, so maybe they remember.
I'm not going to do it now, but when I'm editing the show, I'm going to Google this. And if it's right, I'm not going to do anything. If it's wrong, I'm going to put something on the screen that says a disclaimer.
Kate
I can't wait.
Was incorrect.
I cannot wait.
This is going to be like the rule of thumb thing. Remember, you like went on this whole tirade about rule of thumb, and you were wrong about it. So yeah,
I remember. I was so wrong about that, and I'm happy to be wrong. Happy to be wrong when I'm wrong. Although I prefer to be right.
Of course.
Don't we all?
What's the next one?
All right, next one. Greatest TV show ever made.
Oh goodness. Yellowstone. Is that a TV show?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
The streaming stuff counts. It does.
Say.
Yeah.
It's the best. Huh?
I wish I could contribute. I haven't seen Steel Magnolias and I haven't seen Yellowstone. So I haven't eaten anchovies. So I feel like I'm just completely like over here from all.
We're not together, Vinny.
It's all good. Well,
we have to open our diversity for each other's worlds.
And I think that's part of it. I'm totally open to trying all of these things. You know, like if somebody I trust like Jackie is telling me like these are good things, then I'm all on it. You know.
Agree.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Next,
I'm gonna call the pizza guy too and be like, "Can you make sure to spread the anchovies out? Because I've heard that's key."
And just half.
Yeah. Just half.
Just
what do you do with the other half of the pizza?
Like no, you just leave it no anchovies so that you can at least if you don't enjoy.
Maybe I'll try a slice, like just in case, like but yeah,
it's a good idea.
Give it a fair shot. Yeah.
Okay, next one. What is the most daring thing you've ever done?
This feels like the kind of question that we should give people a heads up on before we start, but I also do like just springing it on people.
Yeah, this is a good spring, and I think I have a good answer. The most daring thing I've ever done was gotten my motorcycle license.
Ooh. That is daring.
Yeah, always wanted to, but then was kind of my hand was forced in the very best of ways, and I enjoy the fact that I could say that I can ride a motorcycle, that I'm licensed to ride a motorcycle. If I ever was in a pinch, I would be able to ride a motorcycle out of that pinch.
How does one's hand get forced into getting licensed to be a motorcycle rider?
So here it goes. So I, as you may know, my family were an organ donor family. My mom was an organ donor when she passed away back in 2010. And I had the absolute honor of meeting the Blue Knights Chapter 9, which is a law enforcement motorcycle club in our area. And the president of that club is a 2-time kidney recipient. Our club chaplain gave him his first kidney, which is amazing as a living donor. They made me an honorary member of the Blue Knights Motorcycle Club. So I had to, in all good faith, at least learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Sure.
So that's how I very nicely got my hand forced into it. So we took a Father's Day weekend. My husband, my older son, myself, we went to Piscataway, I think, and took the weekend course. And I am a motorcyclist and a
you ever just do it for fun?
Proud Blue Knight. Ride a motorcycle?
Yeah.
No, because on our way out, my younger son said, "Promise me you'll never get a motorcycle." So, yeah, I know. But there's personal reasons for that. They're dangerous.
But I'm assuming you at least had to do it as part of the licensing process, right? Like, so you can say that you've done it, right?
I've done it and I can do it.
Yeah.
That's the greatest part. Yeah.
I think that's really all that's necessary. Like people ask, I've gone skydiving. People ask me if I'm going to do it again. And I'm like, no, I can say I've done it. Like, that's all that's necessary. You know?
Done that, been there, done that, can do that again. But yeah, so when I ride with them, I ride with someone on a trike or something like that. But yeah, I do it safely. You don't want me on a motorcycle in the open road.
What do they call it? It's like a Vesper with the sidecar or whatever. No,
I wish that would be kind of cool. No, it's a 2-seater or a trike that has 3 wheels.
Gotcha.
One of the guys that I ride with sometimes it's a two-wheeler, but he has 2 seats on it. So I ride with them. Much safer that way. Yeah.
I guess so.
Very cool. All right. Favorite restaurant in New Jersey?
Oh, Morton's, the steakhouse at Riverside Square in Hackensack.
Ooh,
home away from home. Yeah, absolutely. You can get a great meal anywhere. You get a great meal in many, many places, but the staff at Morton's in Hackensack is bar none the best of the best. They will do cartwheels for anybody that walks through their restaurant. And I think that's just really special. And it's not like, oh, they have an off night, they're in a bad mood. No, they are on point. They make you feel special. They make you feel like family. And they put my picture up on their wall. So of course they're going to be my favorite restaurant.
What kind of steak do you order when you go to a steakhouse? Like, what's your recommendation?
So steak and seafood. Always.
Surf and turf.
So surf and turf. Yep. Just this past weekend, I had a lobster tail with my filet mignon. I'm usually a shrimp person, but they make the meanest crab cake as well. So yeah. So they're so family. And Morton's is a chain, but this staff, your family there. It's like going into your own kitchen. And we had my son's rehearsal dinner there. And they took a picture of the whole family. So they took my husband's and my picture down, and now have my whole family. So all 5 of us, my husband, my 2 sons, and my brand new daughter-in-law, we're all on the wall. So yeah, favorite. Love that question.
That's fantastic. What a great story. Yeah. All right, just a couple more. Farthest from New Jersey you've ever been?
Oh, is that Hong Kong, mainland China?
I'm not going to break out the ruler. You can pick whatever you want.
I think so. That was the longest flight, I think. Wow. Yeah, because Dubai was
Isn't it like a 22-hour flight, something like that?
It's long. It's long. Yeah. It's not quite that long anymore because now you can fly direct.
Yeah.
From
Would
some
you want
places.
Can a plane hold enough fuel to get all the... All right.
I like flying direct no matter how long it takes.
Oh, no, I'm a big layover guy. I don't know.
You are? My last 2 trips have been canceled.
Really?
In the last 6 weeks, my last 2 airplane trips have been canceled by the airline. Not good.
No, that's not fun at all.
It's a headache. Why do you like layovers?
Because it gives, particularly on longer flights, because it gives you an opportunity to get out, stretch your legs, sit in a little diner, eat some like real food. Like just like a timeout in between like a really long thing. Like I can't sit and share for like 15 hours, but like if you tell me like, all right, we're gonna do like 3 hours, you're gonna like get out, stretch your legs, have a little like relaxed time, then get back in the seat for another like 3, 4, 5 hours, then that's all right. I don't know.
Okay.
We're not traveling together, Vinny.
No, never.
It's really annoying when like it's pointless. Like, all right, so for example, the last time I went to California, I had a layover in Los Angeles to get to Anaheim, and I'm like, really? We couldn't stop somewhere in like Colorado or something. We have to stop like in Los Angeles. Like that's dumb. But yeah.
But like it depends on how much vacation time you have. Like the more layovers, like from here.
I never said the
Iowa.
more. I wouldn't want more than one layover. And I wouldn't want it to be like super long. Like just like a couple hours, just to kind of like go to look at one of the restaurants in the airport and like take a time out. That's all.
Hard disagree. Like you have to file off the plane, that takes forever. You have to wait in line to get back on the plane, that takes forever. The cross-checking and the video they make you watch, all of the baloney.
What video do they make you watch?
The safety video. Safety. See, he doesn't watch the video. That's why he enjoys the layovers.
I've always seen the flight attendants. They come up and they do the little thing, Like,
they do that thing too, but now they force you to watch the safety video on the seat in front of you.
I haven't flown since I want to say COVID. So if the video thing is new, then no, I haven't. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
I'm with you, Jackie.
Wait a little while. I'm with you, Kate. Wherever you want to go, I'm flying with you because it is a layover means that much more opportunity for them to lose your luggage. To delay your flight, for you to miss your flight, to lose. It's just a nightmare. It is a nightmare traveling these days. It's a heartache for real. Yeah. And they're using every excuse in the book. Oh, it's technical issues. It's staffing issues. It's weather. It's, you're ugly. Whatever it is. It's like they're pulling out every excuse possible. I'm like, stop it. Just get me to where I want to go, especially if it's vacation. Get me there fast. Get me there. I need to get on the beach, by the pool right now.
Yes.
That's fair.
Especially for vacation. Agree.
Yeah.
Oh my
How was Hong Kong and China?
So I've been there, I think 3 times. If I were to pick a place that I could live for a year or 2, it would be Hong Kong. Now, this was pre-COVID. All right, it was pre-COVID, and a little bit, it's different now because they were just so culturally diverse. Everybody spoke English. All the street signs, everything was in English, and I could function there. Versus like Shanghai it was not that English focused.
Yeah.
Then we rode a subway, one of the trains, which was impeccable and navigatable and understandable. I'm like, well, if I had to pick a foreign country, this would be the one. So my husband's like, okay, we'll consider that.
Yeah. Tokyo
is the cost of living there cheaper or more expensive?
Don't really know.
Because I was going to say, if it's cheaper, then that might be like a nice retirement plan, you know?
Nah, because by the time I retire, which there's no plan right now, I hope to have grandchildren running around.
Yeah.
Tormenting me, you know?
Yeah.
Or me tormenting them. I haven't quite decided yet.
That's a good plan. I like it.
Yes.
All right. Last question. Oh, wait, no. 2 questions left. One, morning person or night owl?
I am actually both these days, which is sickening to me.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It is. But, you know, I get enough sleep. I can stay up really late, but I find that I have not been able to really sleep much later than 6:30, 7. And that's okay if I wake on my own. Now, if the alarm wakes me, it's a whole different story.
Agreed.
But I've been able to enjoy the no alarm wake up when your body tells you it's time to wake up. But I can also go to bed as late as I want to as well. So both, not the answer that I was hoping to be able to give you.
I think there was this tweet that I saw once from Women's Humor, which means that it was retweeted from somewhere else. And I wish I could credit the original author, but they said, it's me and my 4 hours of sleep against the world. And nothing has hit as home as that did right there.
That's all you get, Vinny? That's not enough.
No, I know. It's definitely more than that. I'm probably at about 6. Okay. That's probably not enough either, but that's probably where I am. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I'm loving the little midday nap. That's okay.
I wish I could do that.
Slightest little cat nap. Like I could close my eyes for like 5 minutes and wake up and feel like I've been sleeping for an hour. It's just, that's another change as I get older. Appreciating these teeny tiny, what do they call them? A micro nap?
Yeah.
Works.
I've read that it's supposed to be really healthy for you. So
yeah. You're not a napper though.
I can't, it's hard. I can fall asleep between like 7 and 9 p.m. and then not for the whole night, but that I can do it in there. But any other time, my body just won't let me. It's like, we're supposed to be doing stuff.
There. 7 o'clock nap is good too.
Yeah. At that point, I wish I could just go to bed for the rest of the night. But then, the kid poking.
7 o'clock. It's way too. Then you're going to be up by yourself at 2 a.m. So
that's how it is. Yeah. All right, Kate.
Yeah.
The last one.
Last question. How many cats is too many cats?
3. 3 cats is too many cats.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that's a great. Some people come on and they're like, 1 cat is too many cats.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Most people come on this show and say 1 cat is too many cats.
I'm gonna pull you. Most people. Not most people. We are not a cat family. We're definitely a dog family, but I have met some cats, boy, that think that they're dogs.
Yeah.
They just behave like dogs. Because a lot of cats that I've met also they're just like, no, you stay there. I'll stay here, and together we're going to be happy in our own separate spaces. But there is some, like your cat that was walking across your keyboard before. They're precious, but more than 2 pets.
A lot
is just too much.
I was going to say, my dog is a dog that acts like a cat or believes she's a cat. So it's very much, you stay over here, I'm going to stay over there, and we're going to be fine in our own separate spaces.
Yeah, my Tibetan Terrier was like that, except for if he thought I was in danger, then he came right over to me. It was in my lap and like, don't you even dare think about coming close to my mommy.
I think somebody could be sawing off my legs slowly and she'd be like, all right, whatever. But if I have chicken, then she'll come running. So
you know the way to her heart. That's
there
so
you go.
funny.
I love it. All right. Well, that was the lightning round, which today was brought to us by RWJ Barnabas. Thank you, RWJ Barnabas, and thank you, Jackie, for indulging us. That was really fun.
Yeah,
so fun.
Jackie, I know that volunteer work is really important to you. What are you involved with these days?
So I mentioned to you my Blue Knights. I'm very involved with them. We are working very closely with the American Red Cross, a very, very important and critical shortage of blood supply throughout the nation. So my Blue Knights, we do concurrent motorcycle rides that are completely escorted, and they're so fun. And at the same time, we run blood drives. So we have, we broke a record last year, and I think we got 47 units, and every unit of blood that you collect can save 3 people. So
is one unit of blood like what you collect from one person?
Pint, yeah.
I think, yeah. And I think sometimes it falls a little bit short, or it depends on how quickly your blood is flowing. I don't know. But all I know is at the end of each session, the supervisor gives me a count, and we're like ×3, and that's how many lives we saved.
That's awesome.
So that's what I do in my free time. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's important work because it's literally saving lives.
Yeah.
So in October on the 7th and 8th, we have another drive, and a blood drive, and a ride. So again, my Blue Knights and the American Red Cross. So if any of your listeners are around, have them contact me. Or
where is it going to be?
So the at Harley Davidson, in Garden State Harley Davidson in Morris Plains, is going to be the blood drive on Saturday the 7th. And then the motorcycle ride is on the 8th, which is Sunday, because there's less car traffic, so it's safer. And that is going to be leaving out of Parsippany Hotel in Parsippany. So yeah, and we're round tripping. Yeah, so it's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole weekend thing. We're hosting the Tri-State Conference for Blue Knights, so it's a big deal for us this year.
Why do we have a shortage of blood?
A couple of different reasons. First of all, COVID made it impossible for everyone who had planned to do a blood drive, because now they had to space out. So if your space wasn't big enough, then the drive was canceled. Now it's summer.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are away. A lot of people are fearful of giving blood now. There's still that concern. As much as we want to say we're not concerned with COVID anymore, we're still concerned with COVID. And just
the effects of that virus are so far reaching. It's like you feel its tentacles everywhere,
Yeah. But so the good news is this. So now they've cut out the disclaimer of if you lived or visited Europe within a certain amount of time, you weren't able to donate blood because of mad cow, right? But now that has been eliminated, and now we have a brand new audience of people who can now give blood, and that is, they call it, men who have sex with men have been absolutely disallowed from giving blood. And now if you're good and your blood tests well that day, then you can donate blood now. So we've opened up a whole new population, two new populations of people. So yeah, we're trying to address this blood because people are dying because there's not enough blood.
Yeah. So, unbelievable.
Yeah. So
anything coming up you want to promote?
Yeah, I am doing the Blue Knights and Red Cross thing October 7th and 8th that I wanted to tell you about. And now I want to promote, let us all just continue having tough conversations, and let us all, through BIA, just keep networking, because you guys do it like no one else I know. So thank you for allowing that. Truly, your organization, I have to give kudos to, was instrumental in the success of ALEXENA Consulting, and I will be forever grateful to you. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Thank you for saying that.
Let's say somebody wants to get a hold of you, take advantage of some of your services. How can they do that?
So my email is Jackie@alexenaconsulting.com, and my cell phone, and I have it on always, 551-255-6997. Find me there anytime. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's our show. That was fantastic. Thank you to our listeners, especially the subscribers. We really appreciate the support. Thank you to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, the official sponsor of the show. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out. And finally, big thank you to Jackie Lue Raia of ALEXENA Consulting for joining us today. It was a hoot and a half. It was so much fun to have you with us again. Thank you.
So much fun. Thank you. I appreciate you all so very much.
All right. Until next time. Bye.